Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is going to be yet another episode of the Hot Wet Map. And just before I load the game, have a look at the focus photo. So I'm currently working on logs. And as usual, it's not particularly fixed. I do a bit of this and a bit of that. Otherwise, it's a 2K by 2K map. Towns are done. And we have, well, less than 1,500, fewer than 1,500 industries, because some of them are, well, so my brain just stopped. So we're only doing primary industries and anything that then ends up producing. So yeah, we know that. So now that I said logs, I'm actually doing a lot of weird things. So I think the last bit was doing this copper mine, copper field, copper something, and let's try to do that. So the idea was, and this is where it's a little annoying that the game doesn't save the industry sets, is that we come in here, we make copper, and then that actually gets, it's totally the wrong type of bridge. We then need to do a few things here. Take all that stuff to here, just to make sure that it, instead of being enhanced, ends up gung-hoing, which is taking its little time. Now, I may or may not need to pause the game at some point. I'm hoping not. So I need to put signals here because otherwise the whole thing's going to be stuck. So the last thing I was doing instead of actual, yeah, that's rubbish. Actual, why am I still not copper ore? Yeah, I've been meaning to replace this. This is copper ore. Because you haven't been replaced. That's why you've been tentatively replaced. So I ended up doing these the wrong way, basically, initially. Have you? No, it still says copper. Do I not have? Copper, or I do not have. I think that's really the problem. Okay, new, copper ore. And I think it was, what, doesn't matter, does it? That. Start replacing the name copper ore 5. And then all of ye, I mean, these guys are doing fine. You go get serviced and you go get serviced. Turn it around. And then go off there. At least now that triggers things. Now, the other thing I am engineering supply. Why are you all? Oh, because you're still enhanced, because you're still not getting any copper. So the reason why I'm bleeping down this whole copper thing instead of doing logs as I'm supposed to do logs is because I want to make this actually gung-ho, and once it's gung-hoing, we can then supply things elsewhere. there's a shitload of building materials here, which we're not taking. Can we? O3 building empty or large until further notice. So I have 5, which is to say it's this, the place, building materials, start, get serviced. So building materials do come here, which then gets dynamic. So there is in fact sense in making sure that this is well fed, so to say. And if you're producing 1,000 tons of building materials, I should probably consider just hauling it on a train. God, you're slow. I mean, I understand it's heavy. But you're slow. That's the thing, that these are so, I know they're not being boosted up, but okay, you're gung-hoing now finally. But you take a fair bit of it, and there's 2 of E. And you're also gung-hoing, but otherwise puny. Okay, I think this is going to work. Pit is has a lot of log here, or timber per se. So are we slowly handling? Are you actually timetabled at all? Supposedly. But I think most of the timetable is going to be off because these are slower. Okay, that's doing stuff. You're still enhanced, which is, I mean, I could bring some timber there if I really need to, which I might end up doing if this doesn't 95 tons. I think that just needs to get going, so to say. So how much does it do? I think we can. So this is full-ish, not really, because I think it takes. It doesn't do an awful lot, does it? Um. Well, I mean, do I want to? I bought a portable aircon, which is like factually more than nothing, but not great. And it's incredibly noisy. So I've tested it and I know that you can't hear it, even though it's on, which is pretty good because it's, yeah, it's stupid loud. So I don't think I really want 3 of these, but we'll see. Get us a bit more copper now. And you take 700 odd. I still might need to sell off goods. No, I did not want that. That's such a terrible thing. Mind you, if this ever does start going, I think I'll need to bump those to large. In fact, I might just do that. How interesting. I don't have any large ones. Goods. Not good. Goods. L. In which case all of these come here and we replace these. What the hell is that? Nuclear? It's a lot more expensive and a lot less capable. Yeah, now it's going. Okay, so back to just don't want it to go down, that's all. Doesn't matter really, does it? So back to logs, because that's what I'm supposedly doing. So that needs forest. I'm forest gump. Going to a sawmill. I mean, there is a okay, so this is being handled, except it's not being taken anywhere. Supplier timber yard. Yeah, I'm so bad. At come on. Where are you going? This is in fact a timber yard, none of which is being taken anywhere. Building materials. Could take it there, but you just take stuff. I am a lot more tempted to. This is a supply yard, and you take building materials. Supply yard. Okay. There are no supply yards nearby, right? So we can just take it here, really. I don't think we have. I think this is just. I think this is just goods. Boo. Yeah, just go that way. No, this is closer. Yeah, just there's a lot of shit. I don't know if building materials constitutes as heavy freight. I thought just visual, but by the way, OTTD 16 beta 1 is now out. So if you haven't already, you can start experimenting with push-pull. Ooh, naughty. With push-pull trains, if you're playing with this set or any, I don't think I have. I think I'm building material trains. I do apparently. Building MTR5. I need to make a new template for that. New, none. It doesn't matter much because we don't have anything reasonably fast and useful. Building material. 75 BS. I don't know. I'll use this. It's not particularly set in stone. So if this takes 600 tons, I don't know if we need 2 of these. I think 1 will do. That's fine. We'll I expect this to turn around. Okay, go. I expect this to turn around in less than a month. Yes, yes. And I'm missing a signal. And why? Oh, it's empty because it never really has been triggered. Fine. And now it's only 500 anyway. So you want chemicals? I don't even know who does chemicals. So it's one of the not you. Definitely not you. Nope. These are the same. Oh no, you do chemicals. Manganese fossil building materials. So why don't I? Where am I? Oh, I should just bring it here then, and then I can loop. Right. So I don't really know if chemicals are goods type visually. More to the point, now they're going to go to the same place, so it hardly matters. And I'm not going to separate them out. It's very purely visual thing, and I just can't be honest with it. Okay, this needs to go along with this. So I'll wait for that thing to bleep off. Okay, everyone's coming through here now. Great. Also, this is not going to work. Go away. So you actually will go from here to here, at which point this station closes. Stupid thing. And then we're going to run a 160 odd. Start with a 3, especially because it's definitely not going to be a 10. You take very little. So that will totally be an overkill. You take manganese and building materials and stuff. Well, there's no super obvious mine in the immediate vicinity. What are you? Same thing, worse. That's not a great deal for me. So I'm just checking something. Messages. So now that we have 2 of these, we should try to make sure that they are timetabled. That will be empty. And we could actually come through here and save a few days, but don't know if I'm too bothered. Anyway, I should do something like double quotes new. Yep, there's a lot of engineering supplies here, which is good. There's a bit less building material there used to be. That's also good. So I was looking at sawmill does timber, very little of it. My problem was that there's no timber yard anywhere near here. I mean, the hilarious thing is that that's the nearest timber yard. And by the looks of it, there's no forest around. I mean, there's one up there. So I think what's going to happen is, problems I can't really see it. So this is unhealthy, but it's doing. We'll just build a big bleeping road. Oh, sugar. This is extreme. But I'm not building new industries, so it's not against any rules apart from the fact that if I like infers the ability for the game to generate new industries during gameplay is bound to the user being able to do the same. And rather very honestly, I do not want that. So it can come through here. Sorts. This is going to be particularly painful. Do I even have? I don't. Timber. And then just start with timber L. New. Okay, I want to full load here and just make sure these are not timetabled, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them will do. And also that this is a transfer. So that's obviously going to take forever, but the idea is that 52, why don't I put some capacity here? So 252 actually wouldn't be too bad to bump. Yeah, lots of engineering supplies. I mean, it's a nice problem to have, but okay, give me one of these and send it here, and you are a timetable. So probably 5 of them will do. Hilariously enough, this keeps losing money because it's going to a copper load, which is stupid. Yeah, I know I made that mistake. Farming supply. I mean, you made money at some point, and you're going to a forest. I think it's this. Yeah. Mm, so that's never going to be replaced because um, um, because are we in the same place? Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake, this is so annoying. I know there are waypoints, and I could utilize that to do like large vehicles take the slow path and less large vehicles take the long path, but which means this never got above. Okay, that will it will hopefully be fixed. And then I was saying that there's a forest here, and that this should now start getting engineering supplies, which will take beyond forever. I think we'll need more. I would bump them to large or something. But mind you, I could just bring it from here, and then it would take less time. Because it should as hell not being utilized properly. Yeah, you suck. The first one's full. Mighty. Okay, so let us bring a station here. Log. Wood loading station. Fine. Viva la creative naming. Probably should come this way. Yeah, off topic, but I really don't think I'll be playing Steel Town on any sort of a large-ish map ever. Even this is a much less busy map in terms of we have a lot fewer industries than the Hyperconnect. And anything lengthier than this is too long. In fact, even this is way too long because I just don't think people are interested. Like, it's a nice challenge. And I know from the stats that some of the episodes do get viewership. Which is, obviously great. But I think people's attention span kind of fizzles out after about 100 episodes. All right, that should theoretically do. So you do actually quite not a lot. So what we'll do is 2 small trains on a full load cycle. A log, except I don't have any. Mind you, okay, just to make sure that you don't try to timetable the untimetableable. Oh, for fuck's sake. No. Okay, turn the fuck around. So in theory, this should now be. I want fucking farm supplies. I'm an idiot. I'm just so used to everything wanting. You don't even do farm supplies, do you? Back to the drawing board. Everything needing engineering supplies. See, that's what the problem is. Farm triple M. This should be called 3. Also, are you farm or farming? You just farm. New farm. This was medium. So timber obviously goes here, and the farm goes here, and you start here, go there. 5. Door. Okay, next was there's one up here which is kind of hilarious. The biggest problem is that this produces timber, but we don't really have the place to take it. At which rate I'm better off just transporting this there, in which case I could probably change that 3-length train to pick up at both wood. Oh, yeah, don't do that. We have about 13-ish minutes. I mean, actually, not quite, because, hold on. So we pick up here. There's only going to be one, but can I? Well, not really. So you don't need to full load, and instead you actually start here. At which point we might not need 2 of these. It saves me an extra headache because I don't know what to do with this. So supplies. Vaguely many goods. Lots of building materials. Why you be having so much building materia? Okay, fine. Have a third one. And I seem to have way too much copper here. I know I've bitched about this. It's no disrespect to people in South America, but the availability or lack of trains is painful. You not timetabled. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not how it's supposed to be, but kids don't do this at home. So continuing on, I still want to check that this is now doing something sensible. You're gung-hoing, there's a fuckload of wood here. And what happened to the... Huh? I'm very, very confused. I have no idea what happened there. Anyway, get one of these. No, fuck off. Get one of these. Come on. And this is pretty slow. So I'd love to say I must have sent it to Depot and sold, but why would I do that? Also, this doesn't really need... Shut up. Like, they're not going to cross each other otherwise, so... Yeah. Where's the other one? You stuck? I think it's stuck. Lol. Moving on, we have 5 minutes. Let's at least get an idea. It's only 50 odd forests. So this is being taken. This is kind of being taken. Looks like it could do with another chain, but otherwise okay. I hazard this is being taken. Yeah, I did this. And then this is being taken to here. What are you, Timberyard? The forest up there, which is in a particularly bad spot. I think it's going to come here because there are forest. I mean, there's other forests here. So I have about 4 minutes. I don't have time to do that. I'm just going to check on the other laptop, see if anyone missed me. No, no one seems to have missed me. Okay, so in the next episode, I think we're going to collect all these, but I could totally natural looking. Could start with the woody. And there's some large body of water here, which I want to quite literally bridge. If I do this, one too long, but otherwise okay. Eh. Okay, map, you are in my way. So this is not really going to work because there's already a bridge there. This is going to be expensive. I either need to, like, I want to marry up these two. That's the point. And then it's not too crazy expensive. We have very little time left. You take, okay, you take builder stuff, but you don't produce anything, so you might be very little use to me. So time is supposedly up, and I actually just want to come here. So what we'll do is build this out and then cut the episode because I'll need a lot more building it out to do. And this is going to be one of those cases where I'm going to make things larger or hillier. Just bugs my OCD, although it's still off. All right. So we'll do a heavy. Oh, I don't really do 10 long trains. Almost. All right, pause game, save game, and yeah, thanks for watching as always, and let me know if you have any thoughts, comments, whatnot, and we shall continue. Bye bye.